there are two major scripting areas within ServiceNow. One is client-side scripting and one is server-side scripting, and we started to focus majorly on client side, right? Because the form validation and everything happens majorly on the client side, and server side is being utilized in order to get your database updated. And if you wanted to do trigger certain thing on server, let's say you are inserting a record to your table, that time you want certain events to get generated or certain other actions to be performed, so you can utilize your server side. So we went ahead and we were discussing about what is client script, what are the different type of client script. We'll focus on that area. We saw that client side is nothing but a JavaScript code which runs on browser of a particular machine, okay, which can be utilized in order to do certain validation. Like you want to make any particular field as visible, not visible. I want to make it as read only or writable, which means you don't allow that person to write that particular field. And then you also can make a particular field as mandatory, non-mandatory, that part. And then with response of one field, other field values to be getting changed. Right? All that part you can do with respect to client script. Then we saw different type of client side scripts which are available within ServiceNow. So the one which we are discussing currently is client script, okay, and then we have something called catalog client script, which is more specific to your catalog items, and then we have something called UI policy scripts, UI policies, and UI action, UI script, UI pages, and UI macro. In this, UI action is something which acts on both side, client side as well as server side. Both side is it basically acts, okay. So, and then we move towards the different types of client script solution. So as discussed, we have four types of client script which are present in given ServiceNow. One is called OnCellEdit. So we saw that OnCellEdit basically works whenever you are changing some value within your cell, right? During that time, your OnCellEdit will work. So yesterday we saw an example that I was trying to update color of a particular field, color of incident table of a particular record, and then what was happening, I was getting some sort of alert because I was specifically changing one particular field. And then we also saw some example of onload script, which means whenever your form is loading, you want to do certain validation, you want to put something on load of your form, right? Then onload script client script will work. So this will not update a particular record because all this is happening on your browser. And then we will be discussing today more detail with respect to OnChange script, OnSubmit, and OnCellEdit. Okay. Then we also discussed like how do we reach if we want to find client script within our system, how do we go there? So we have to just type client script in application navigator, and under system definition, you should be able to see your client script. There is another way on your form, you have to just right click, and then you should be able to see your client script, configure all, and you will be able to see your client script. So another example is like this. So this is onload, just pop-up came. So you have to right click on form header and configure, and then configure, you can directly access your client script, which is specific to incident table and task table. Okay, this all we have discussed yesterday. Then we also went in a bit more detail to see what are the different things which are available within client script form. We discussed about what is this name field does, what is this table field does, and this UI type field will be for what particular purpose. So we discussed quite a lot in detail what these particular fields are for and how do we utilize this particular field. So we also checked that there is a field called type field on scripting page. Okay, based on what type of script you are selecting, OnCellEdit, OnChange, OnLoad, or OnSubmit, the function parameter gets changed completely, right? The parameter which are passed to a function, or the function, what all different variables are available out of the box, they get completely changed based on different type of the script. Then we wrote a simple script in order to display one alert on load of a form. For here, an example, we have vulnerability management, but for us, we have done it on our incident management part. Okay. So let's move towards a little more detail, right? So let's say I wanted to do certain things when I am changing this particular, I'm changing a particular field. So yesterday we saw with respect to whenever my form is loading, I want to display some sort of alert. So my form was loading, so I wanted to display this type of alert. So I wrote on load line script, which helped me to display this sort of alert message. Now we will deep dive little bit more with respect to on change script within ServiceNow. Okay. So the on-chain script will, the form looks as it is, as simple one. Okay. Again, you will have something called name field, which you can utilize to give a meaningful name based on your requirement. There is no standard format. Most of the time, people follow that, they try to give a name which matches up with their requirement. So you can give a meaningful name, and the table, on which particular table you want to execute the script, whatever specific table you are selecting, it will work on that particular table only. Then we have something called UI type, which we discussed in detail. That, let's say you want your script to be executed in desktop version, or you want it to execute it in particular mobile version, or all of the version, you can select that. So we most of the time will go with all, because of the fact that we want consistency. We want consistency of our form whenever, from whichever platform user is trying to access the form, right? And then the third thing which is there is like type, wherein we will be selecting on change, because we are going to work something whenever there is a change in the field value. There, let's say whatever, either the field was blank and we change it to something else, or whether field already had some value and we are updating it to a new value. There on change will work. Okay. Another important part which is there is field name. So here we have to specify the specific field name on change of which particular field this on change event will happen within ServiceNow. This on change thing will work. This script will get activated. So we have to specify that particular field here. So please note this field name is only applicable when you are writing on change script and OnCellEdit. It will not be available. It will not be visible on your form itself when you are writing on load or on submit script. Okay. Then we discussed about applications, and then if you are not making your script as active, even though that script exists on your table, it will not be of use, because active means this particular script is active on the form, and if you try to do any changes on the form, the script will give you some alert. Okay. This inherited we discussed in order to, you created one parent table and you want like all your child table should have such type of configuration. You can click on inherited. So whenever somebody will use your table as next level of as a parent table, the script will be applicable. Then we focused on this global checkbox, which is specific for the view. Okay. So view, when I say, it is like global view, or you can create your own specific views also within service. Okay. Then another important part which is there is with this your function. So whenever you put on change function, right, you see certain parameters are already there. These parameters will not be there when you are doing onload. So yesterday we saw onload script. Onload script does not accept any parameter. Okay. But whereas on change script, it does accept these set of parameters within ServiceNow. So what does each parameter say, or what is the why do each these parameters are there? So control is nothing but that particular field. Okay. So control indicates control of this particular field which we have selected, which is nothing but short description on our form as of now. Okay. And then old value, new value. Old value is the old value of a field. So let's say my short description earlier was Devendra Kumar. Now it got updated to something called Ashwin. Okay. Or now it got updated to something called Ravi Kiran. Okay. So what will happen? The new value of my field is Ravi Kiran. Okay. And the old value is nothing but Ashwin. Okay. And is loading is something is a variable which indicates if values are changing because of form load. Okay. Whenever form loads, right, there are certain pre-populated values. Okay. So for example, let's say if I reload the form, you see certain values are already there on the form, which is like impact is low, urgency is low, and priority is low, priority is planning. So all these values are pre-populated. What is happening as soon as your form is loading, these values are already there on your form. So it will represent that particular is loading. And there is something called template within ServiceNow, which you can create, which you can utilize in order to create your form quickly. So let me show you templates. So most of the time you'll see templates here. Whatever available templates are there within ServiceNow. So you would have seen like if you get certain repeated incidents, okay, from some person or certain repeated task, okay, let's say you're getting. So every time you have to fill caller, every time you have to fill short description because you are doing same thing. So what you can do, you can create something called template within ServiceNow. So these are the at the bottom of my screen, if you see, right, these are the out of the box template which are already available, and through this plus button I can create a new template. Let's say let me create a fresh template for you guys. Okay, so this is the template. I want to put something on this. Okay. This coding set of views. Okay, let's say I want to put incident. Let me put new incident. Okay. So these are the predefined values which I can set. For example, every time whenever I am creating, I'll be creating category as inquiry help, impact as like this, knowledge. I don't want this, so I'll remove it. So new every time I want new state, and then let's say I want to put a short description like incident created. This is a short description which I wanted to set for issue. Whatever issue I have, I can put it here. Also I can, I can make this particular template to be available for only specific group, or I can make it like everyone can access. So if I'm not putting means everyone can access. So if I hit submit, this template will get created within ServiceNow. Okay, so now you see at the bottom there is something called template 2. The moment I click on this template 2, what will happen? These automatically field got updated, right? So you see somebody has created an incident because of using template, right? So I hit on that, and then automatically these values got populated. If I select some other template, some other values will get populated. You see now major incident causing serious interruption of business activity. So these are the template. So if something like this is happening on my incident form, the field values are getting changed, right? If you have keenly noticed what is happening, my short description is getting updated based on what type of template I am taking, right? So this is also a change, right? Because your short description is continuously changing. This is also a change. So if this type of change is happening because of any template, then you can put certain validation as per that also. So these are certain things which are already there within out of the box variable which are present based on different business use case. You can utilize this. Sometimes certain people will say that you have to write a code wherein if values are getting changed because of template, I want some alert to be coming up, right? So you have to check whether this value is true or false. Is template is loading will save something called true or false type of a value. True means yes, the values are changed because of template. False means yes, the values are not getting changed because of that particular field. Okay, and then at the end here in the middle where you see in the green line it is called, right, type appropriate comment here and begin script below. So you can write your own script here. Okay, a very simple example is what we have covered in this particular screenshot is whenever there is a change on a short description field, one alert will come up on your screen. Example for OnChange, a very simple alert. You can set up certain values also. You can set up certain other things also, which we are going to discuss a little bit more in detail. Okay, so let's see that particular OnChange script. Okay, how do we configure that? Again, a very simple way. I can go to my service now. I have to just type client script, and I can client script, and then under system definition, I should be able to see on the client scripts. But here only one thing is there. The moment I click new, my table will not be pre-populated. You see, it gives me all empty, everything I have to select. But if I am there on my incident, I right click and I click the configure, and then I hit client script, the changes, and I click new. Automatically it is picking my incident table because through incident table I can upload. So there are multiple ways by which you can open up your form. It is up to you which way you prefer. Okay, there is no hard and fast rule here. Nobody will ask you why you are opening anything from here or there. I prefer this way because I don't have to write something on my table. So let me go through. Let me write some simple on-change script. Let's say on-change script demo. I want this script to be executed. Remember, I said you right that it can be desktop version or mobile version or service portal version or all. I want my script to be consistent on all the platforms. So I will select OnChange. So the moment I select OnChange, this is pre-populated thing from ServiceNow, which will get populated. Guys, if you change any of these things, your script may not behave properly. As simple as that. So let's say you decided that I will have to write OnChange script because my field value is changing. Somebody gave me a requirement that whenever there is a change of state, display alert to assign to person that you are updating the state to so and so. Okay, let's say like that it is there, and you later on eventually decided no, boss, I did wrong and I want to make it like onboard, and simply you came up here and you did like onboard. Here now it is getting updated, but if it is existing script, it will not get updated. So make sure you are you have to be very careful with what function you are selecting here and what function is here at time. Okay, else your script will behave very as simple. So we were looking on change. So let's say whenever I am changing a certain thing, like I'm changing my category on the form, I want to display some alert. Okay, so I selected on change event. I selected which particular field should change. I selected category, and then I put an alert that alert is nothing but a JavaScript function. Okay, guys. Some of you guys will already be knowing, some of you may not be knowing. So just a simple information purpose that it is a JavaScript globally used everywhere. Whenever you will be doing some website building and all, also most of the people who are building pages, right? You guys will be using this alert function a lot. So it is just a function. If you want to find more details, you can go to w3schools.com and put JavaScript function space JavaScript. So you can get a lot of libraries already available, and in that you can search for alert everything. You will be able to get lot of details here. Even complex expression also you can build up, and they provide a ready-made online lab type of a thing. So let's say you try something, okay, you build up something and you end up like not working, right? No problem, because it is their online lab type of a thing which you can work, and if you are not able to get through, no issues, you can close the browser and retry. Okay, so we were on alert, so let me put some alert here. So this is alert which I want to display. A very simple, very basic alert. Let me save this one and try to change category of. So yesterday, one important thing we discussed, because it is on change of a field, right? So if I am going to change this particular, let me put all insertion. Okay. So what do you think, guys, that if I'm going to change this particular category from here, do you think that particular pop-up will come up or it will not come up? Yes, no, maybe. You can put your, if you think that it will change, you can put yes. If you think it will not change, you can put no.
Yes.
Anybody else?
No, it won't change. You made an alert now.
So if I made an alert, do you think that whether that particular script will execute here or not? First that is the question. Second part, if I select OK in that, do you think changes will happen? So there are two questions. First question is whether that script will act here or not. This is my list view. So yesterday we discussed, right, on the list view what type of client script work. So let's try to do it. Okay, so let me update my category. Earlier it was give me 1 second, guys. I'm getting one urgent call. So you guys saw, right? What happened is even I made a change on my list view of category field only, but that alert did not come. So there, what can be the issue? Either my script is not correct. Okay, so I am changing it again, but the alert did not came. Okay, now let's try by opening the form. Okay, so this is my form. This is on load. Okay, so this is my category. Let's try to update my category to database. Now I'm getting this error, right? So on change script, client script will work only on the form level. It will not work on the list view. For list view, you have something called OnCellEdit. Okay, so remember we discussed 4 types of client scripts are there within ServiceNow. On list view, OnCellEdit will work in the list view. So sorry, yeah. If you want to make certain changes here, you want that certain things should happen here. For that, you have to use OnCellEdit. So let me. I have a OnCellEdit already for me. So if I click OK, you see OnCell. You cannot change color via list view. So here OnCellEdit is working, and on actual form your OnChange will work. As simple as that. Whenever your form is open, your OnChange will work. OnChange will not work outside form. Okay. I hope this is clear now.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So now let me try to put certain more thing. Let's say I want to, I put that value and then now I am saving this one. Okay. So now I want to put some. So this you are about to change the category of an incident. Let's say I want to put certain other message from whatever old value. So whatever old value is there, I will put that. I will put plus. So whatever you want to concatenate. Concatenate means if you want to join to a particular string, you can use plus. Okay. And then I will take this old value, whatever old value is there. Old value for what? Old value for category. It will display that. Plus, I want to put some space, so I will put some normal space, or I can use /n for new line character. That is little bit in more detail. You can check again on W3 how you can format that particular. What are the different things you can put? Old value. Let me put something called to new value. Okay. So I'm using nothing but the existing variable which are given by ServiceNow itself. I'm not using anything from my own. I have not declared any variable. I'm just using whatever is the old value and whatever is the new value. So just to showcase one short example that what these variables are storing. So let's try to reload this one. And one more thing, with respect to whenever you are working on client side scripting, right? If you have done any changes, make sure that you are reloading your form. The reason is very simple, because it is on the client side. It works on your memory cache and all, right? So if you refresh, it gets updated with your recent changes. Else, what will happen? Eventually, you might think that your code is everything correct, but still it is not working. As simple as that, because cache, everything is stored in the cache, and it is still referring to the old cache. Okay. So let's say I am changing from database to software. So I couldn't give a very good space. So if you are able to read this message, you are about to change the category of an incident form. Old value database. Remember, our old value was database, to new value software. So I selected new value as software. If I select OK, it got reflected here, and then I can hit a save button. You understood, right? If you see, very simple way, what I did, I utilize the existing variables within ServiceNow in order to put those values. Let me put some semicolons so that it becomes more. So let me put something called hardware. So you see right now it is very clear, not so good, but still. Okay, I don't reloaded my form. Again, same problem. If I don't reload my form, then let me change. So you see, now it is coming a bit more clearer. Like you are about to change the category of incident from old value, which is software, to new value, which is network. Okay. So this is how your OnChange will work. So right now, I have clearly or categorically put on category field, but it will not work on any other field. So if I am putting anything on my description field, it is not working, because that is not meant for description field. It will work only to a specific field. So this is one important thing, and this can also be an interview question wherein they might ask you, can you tell like two particular client scripts which work based on a specific field? So it will be like OnCellEdit and OnChange, right? So they will not ask very direct question, but yes, it can be one of the questions. So you can keep a note of it. Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
So we'll move forward and we'll try to cover up a little bit more on OnSubmit. So we saw example of OnDo, we saw an example of OnCellEdit also, and we saw an example of OnChange. In 5 minutes, this meeting will get disconnected. You can join in same bridge. We'll take a short break of 5 minutes. Once meeting gets disconnected, we'll take a break of 5 minutes and we'll resume back. Okay. So now next one is OnSubmit. So OnSubmit is like whenever you are submitting the form, you are actually saving the form. Let's say I filled in all the details of my incident form. Okay. So here I filled in whatever blah blah I wanted to fill, and I want to save this form. So during save of form, if I wanted to do certain validation, that whether the data is correct or not correct, most of you would have easily seen that, whenever you save a form on government site, it takes a little bit tough time. The site will get hung for a couple of seconds because validations are working. First validation on browser is working, and then second validation on actual server is working. Like whenever you are filling some form related to your Aadhaar card, PAN card, where Aadhaar card, PAN card is required, they tend to utilize, they do a real-time check of your Aadhaar card number or PAN card number. You type any rubbish or garbage value there, what happens? It will throw an error. That form gets hung for a couple of seconds because validations are happening simultaneously. And the moment you hit submit button, what is happening? This. So browser did validation, your client script did validation on browser side, and then the form got submitted and the data got uploaded in your database. So if I have to reload this, incident will have certain values. The description field I put it in. And in list view, there will be these default values or default fields which are available, but you can always drag and drop. So you have to double click, or you can click like this, an arrow, and put that field here. Okay. This also will come up most of the time when you will be working as a ServiceNow admin, right, you'll get a lot of tasks wherein somebody will say that, hey, I'm not able to see priority column here. Can you add that column for me? So it will be here. You can directly add it. Okay, just have to select that column, push it here. Let's say you are not able to find that column. That is another story. How do we go in the backend and personalize this entire list? Okay, there is another thing, and it is a bit more into deeper of admin part. So with experience with work, you will be coming a lot of scenarios. Okay. So as you saw, right, with respect to OnSubmit, what happens whenever you are trying to save the values, whatever you have put on the form, right, the OnSubmit will execute there. Okay, so let's quickly try to write. Let's say on my existing form, the one I have, I want to change this particular script to OnSubmit. So if I click OnSubmit, you see, right, even though above is OnSubmit written, but the function is still indicating that it is a OnChange script. And if I try to save this, it may not work. It will be very abrupt for system itself, because your type is saying that it is OnSubmit, and here OnChange function you are executing, and these are not the parameter also. So what you have to do, you have to clear all that. Okay, you have to again put function as OnSubmit. So rather than that, what we will do, we will again right click, configure client script, and we'll do a new client script. We'll select all, and here we'll select OnSubmit. The moment I select OnSubmit, you see this function body appears. It doesn't have any argument. The best part of OnLoad and OnSubmit is it doesn't have any argument. So you don't have to worry what these arguments, why these arguments will be there. Okay. One important point is some interviews they might ask you what are the different parameters which OnChange script takes. Okay, so they will be expecting these, that you have to say the different parameters which are available on OnChange catalog, OnChange client scripts are control, old value, new value, is loading, is template. And some people tend to go a bit more deeper, and they may ask you what is this is loading and is template, and what is this control, they may ask. So you should be knowing about these particular why these particular variables are there out of the box available for us. Okay, let's put for OnSubmit. So whenever I'm submitting a form, I want to display some alert, basically simple one. And you are about to save the form to proceed. Some sort of small message on submit. Okay. And the save button. Save this before we go for a short break. Let's see the info. This is my one code. So my form is still loading, you see, in the browser, and this script got executed. I did OK, form got loaded. Now, if I try to make certain changes, update in description, and now you see nothing is coming, right? But the moment I hit save, you are about to save the form. Are you sure to proceed? So what happened, the moment I hit save button, my browser validation, which is via OnSubmit script, got executed, and now I selected OK. So it got submitted. The changes are there in my database. If I have to refresh here, you see earlier description or something like this, I can do refresh this. It got updated.